Welcome back again to my channel. Hello to all. This is Captain Sherry, and today we are going to discuss a very important topic, and that is 16 key points of MLC. I will also suggest you people who are doing exams in UK, please go through MSN 1848 also. The latest amendment is Amendment number 4, and there are some annexes also which have a lot of information as well. Right? Now, these 16 key points, when you are delivering it in the oral, it is very difficult to remember all of them. But if you remember it like a story, then you will be able to deliver it very easily to any surveyor. Right? Okay, so I will suggest you that just imagine that you are visiting a shipping office and the first part of story will start from there. All right. So when you go to the office, the first thing they will say is have a seat, and they will be asking you what is your age, and that is the first point which talks about minimum age, right? And if you are over 16 years of age, then they will say, okay, sir, minimum age requirement is fulfilled. You can go ahead and do your medicals. And that is your second point about medical certification. Now, once you do your medicals and you're medically fit, you come back again to the shipping office, and then they will say, sir, your COC has come. Will you please submit all your documents, STCW certificate and everything to me, right? And that is the third point, qualification of a seafarer, right? Okay. Then once everything is done, you've submitted your documents, they will say, let's sign a contract. And that is known as Seafarer Employment Agreement. And that is the fourth point. All right. And in the end, before signing your contract, you'll be asking, I hope you have a RPSL number. And that is the fifth point, SRPS, which is also known as Seafarer Recruitment Placement Service. All right. So first half of the story is very easy. You go to the shipping office, they ask you about minimum age, and then they send you to the medical, and that is your medical certification, second point. And then you come back to the office, and they are asking you about your documents, right? So that is third point, qualification of a seafarer. And then after that, you sign the contract with them, which is called as Seafarer Employment Agreement, which is the fourth point. But before signing that contract, you always ask, have you got a RPSL number? And that is your fifth point, Seafarer Recruitment and Placement Service, right? So the first part of story is finished. Now you have already reached a ship and you are keeping a watch, right? Now, once you are nearing the end of your watch, you are always calling your reliever. And why you're calling your reliever? Because you have to go for a rest, right? And that is your sixth point, hours of rest. Once the reliever comes on the bridge to relieve you, why he's coming? Because he's following the manning levels. He's following the bridge watchkeeping and manning levels, right? And that is what is your seventh point, manning levels. Now, you have gone handing over your watch to your cabin, and that is your eighth point. Cabin is located in the accommodation. So eighth point is your accommodation. All right. Right. Now you're watching a movie and suddenly somebody knocks on your door. This is your AB. And what he says, oh, sir, why are you watching movie alone on a laptop? Let's go to a recreational room. And that becomes your ninth point, onboard recreational activities, right? So that is your ninth point. All right. Now, after you finish your movie, obviously you will go for a good food inside a mess room. Now you reach your mess room, and that is your 10th point, food and catering, right? So now you're talking to each other and you're discussing food, and suddenly, you know, suddenly you started discussing about a chief cook, that this chief cook food is not so healthy and he does not prioritize safety, and uh, obviously he's also accident prone. Okay, his activities are accidental. Okay, so that comes your 11th point, health, safety and accident prevention. All right. Now, once you eat that food, the officer has a food poisoning, and suddenly he goes to a second mate and he says that I have stomach pain. Okay, and that comes your 12th point, onboard medical care. All right. Now, you are not happy. You want to complain against the chief cook that his food is not happy and you have got a food poisoning. So there comes the 13th point, onboard complaint procedure. Right now, because of the food poisoning, okay, you're not feeling well and you need a sign off now. You're not feeling well and there's an export which is coming. So you tell master that please sign me off. I want to go home. Anyways, I'm ending my contract as well. All right. And there comes your 14 point, payment of wages, because once you sign off, you get your payment of wages. Right. Okay. And then you receive your tickets, right, to go from a foreign country back home. And there comes your repatriation point, that there has to be a financial security for repatriation, right? That is your 15th point. And 16th is there has to be a financial security relating to ship's owner liability. All right. So there are your 16 points. And this is how you can remember all those 16 points. Thank you very much for paying attention.